Hello and welcome to the first ever episode 35 of Whoniverse, a weekly Doctor Who topic show. Bombada 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 bum 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 bombada 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 bum 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 So, it's just me this week. My own fault, might I add. Had the dentist in a fair bit of pain, and I thought, I won't be able to do the show this week. I'll just record a solo show in the late hours by myself. But anyway, I messaged Lewis, who was still at work at the time. Said, look, can't do the podcast. I'll probably do a solo show when I've recovered from my dentist appointment. He goes, okay, I'll do it. You have fun. You have fun doing your solo show. I'm like, okay, good. Anyway, so I recovered from my dental pain. So I called him back and said, hey, Lewis, do you want to do the show? He said, oh, sorry, I already told my wife that I'm not doing the show. So he's with his wife right now, and I'm by myself doing the show on my lonesome. To be quite frank, I'm still in a considerable amount of pain. It's very difficult to swallow. My mouth is very sore. And it's not even sore on the side. But I was getting the work done. I think I may have bit my tongue in the operation. Whilst I was getting the work done, some fillings. Anyway. I don't go well with anaesthetic. Well, on to the first topic of the show. Voting in the TARDIS. We looked at who was the best companion to travel with the 11th Doctor. The options being Amelia Pond, Rory Williams, River Song, or Clara Oswald. Let me tell you, it was a very close poll for last place. But before we get to the results or the comments, we do actually have a word from one of our most loyal listeners, _Curbs Lloyd on Twitter, who tweeted to us, just catching up on Whoniverse show. I feel like I'm the only one who ever comments. Ha ha ha. I love it when you guys read them out though. So we reply, you're one of our favourite commenters. If you ever want to request an accent for Elbrook 14, that's Lewis, just say. And he goes, thank you, you're too kind. GIF of Justin Timberlake saying, oh, stop it. You're too kind. It's just nice to have people to discuss Doctor Who with. Ha ha. I don't think we've heard an Italian accent before. Ha-hoo! Well, Lewis isn't here to do his Italian accent, but I'll do my very best. So we got our first comment from, you guessed it, at _Kirby Lloyd. Let's do this. I feel like Amy and Rory should be together, though. You can't have one without the other. That's very correct, Kirby. Amy and Rory come as a package. And the next comment we have from the Mad Hatter 54, another regular listener and regular commenter. Honestly, Amy is my least favourite of the four options, but Clara is number one. We even basically named our daughter after her. Wow. So, you've named your daughter after Clara. That's quite cute. She's my least favourite character, but it's really sweet. Nice. And we got another comment from at Thoughts by Mike. Amy is going to win this by a landslide, but I'm going to toss the vote to River's way. I love the banter. River is an amazing character, but a bit brutish. Don't forget, you can also email us at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com. We have a comment here from Mark from the Park. Mark from the Park. Oh man, what did we get last week? Calf in the bath. So basically all our emails are rhyming now, is it? Okay. I'd like to go for secret option number 5. Veloggio was my favourite companion. Although, maybe I'm just a fan of James Corden. Pepperoni. Ha-hoo. Okay, yeah. He was a good companion. Shame you love him so much you can't even remember what his name is. You can't remember what James Corden's character's name was. The thing is, neither can I, because he wasn't important. He wasn't an important character at all. Yeah. So, moving on, what vote shall we do next week? Well, that brings us on to topic of the Who cast, favourite companion who travelled with Peter Capaldi. Peter Capaldi, in fact, never had more than 4 companions, which makes choosing the options for this week's poll a lot easier. It's so difficult to talk with my mouth. Ow. Ow, it really hurts. Anyway, the options for this week are Clara Oswald, River Song, Nardole, and Bill Potts. I did speak with Lewis just before the show started recording to ask him what his thoughts were, and he said the following. I feel Nardole will probably come last, but Clara, I think it's going to be a long slide ride. She's just really popular, and Bill Potts is just so hot. Yeah, River Song, long-standing favourite, travels with everyone. That's my best Lewis impression I've got going. Officially, however, Me isn't a companion, as she never travelled in the TARDIS with the Doctor. They only bumped into each other occasionally through time. Personally, of those options to win, Clara Oswald was actually the main companion of the show. She probably had the most compelling story arc out of them all as well. Like Bill Potts had a pretty good story arc. River Song has the longest legs. So Nardo's just going to come last. He's the Rory of the Capaldi generation. So it's definitely between Clara Oswald and River Song. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to say Clara Oswald's going to win, although I will most likely vote for... Oh, blimey, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. Bill Potts. Bill Potts I'd probably vote for. I liked her the most. Yeah. So on to Nuvia News Network. Time for some news. Wow, this is going to be a short episode. Let's try and get to 15 minutes at least. And I'm sure Lewis will go more in depth next week. However, Christopher Eccleston, in the lead up to his upcoming book, has recently elaborated on what he meant by politics when he left Doctor Who. He's quoted as saying, "Because of my background, when I go onto a set, it's very important to me that everybody's treated with respect. And that's because I come from a class of people who traditionally are not treated with respect," he said. "I also look to the director and the producer. And if the director, for instance, treats a member of the crew badly and then comes to speak to me about my performance, I have no respect for them and I don't listen to them. And that's difficult. There were certain things that went on. As an actor, you're working with a crew, you get very close to that crew, so there were things that I saw that I didn't like. The crew, I felt, could have been treated better, but I often feel that it's a ruthless business." End quote. So, what is basically said in so many words is that the crew on Doctor Who were treated like crap. God damn it! Stop with the voices, Jamie. Stop with the voices. My mouth hurts. My head hurts. Everything's spinning. Stop with your impressions, Jamie. Just stop it. No one's laughing. So yeah, Christopher Eccleston really has a massive... He's got pride, basically, and he lost. It's also said recently that leaving, he says a lead actor needs 2 seasons to nail the part, and he actually regrets not staying on for the next series, and that it was it cost him a lot of pride in leaving when he did. He wished he'd stayed on, but seeing what he's seen, he couldn't stay. He didn't feel comfortable in that working environment where people were just not being treated nice. It's just not great. So, moving on. to history lesson. And this week's history lesson was The Invasion, starring Patrick Troughton as the Doctor. Now, we're not going to be going too much in depth into it because it's going to be a really, really, really good one for next week because we're going to have Brian back. So it's going to be all three of us. We'll be back with Whoniverse or Hogwash. It's going to be awesome. So we'll discuss it a little. I was watching this last night, and I tried to watch it all last night. Got to the 4th episode, and I was like, "What? This is how it ends? This is crazy. What a horrible story. I was really enjoying it." And then I find out, I go online, because it came in 2 discs, but if you buy Doctor Who DVDs, you'll know that a lot of them come on 2 discs. One for the story, one for the special features. This one, however, has 8 parts. So when I finished the 4th part, I was like, what? How boring. I went on the internet to have a little moan about it. And also I thought, I wonder how it did critically, because that was a pretty boring story. So straight away, we go onto the Wikipedia page and pull up its stats. And oh, it's got 8 parts. 8. Bloody hell, 8 parts. That's ridiculous. So I had to watch the following 4 parts the next day, which incidentally is the day of recording. And I'm like, blimey, what an amazing story! I don't know how it did. I don't know how people liked it. When it aired, what its rating is. But oh my god, this was amazing. Let me just have a quick look on IMDb. Doctor Who, The Invasion. And it's going to be one of those really difficult ones to find, isn't it? There's one here that just says Invasion from 1965. But that's too early. Let's just type in Doctor Who. Doctor Who. And we'll just bring up the original run of Doctor Who. Here we go. And this one it doesn't say what series it's from. That's the issue. Gosh dang it. Well, I don't want to waste all my time looking at this. But you know what? I'll probably bring it up next week. But yeah, essentially, yeah. So I was quite surprised to find out it was 8 parts. Note to self: when watching stories in the future, make sure you do your research. This is what happens when Brian's gone and I'm left in charge. I end up picking 8 episode long stories, and it's just crazy. Interesting fact though, it's the first story to be recorded out of order thanks to new technology. Director Douglas Camfield for some reason refused to work with regular composer Dudley Simpson. Don Harper was hired to do the music, and it would be his only work ever on the show Doctor Who. In fact, if you go on a Wikipedia page for this episode, it states that what's the word? I'm losing my words here. It states that he was the incidental director, the incidental composer for the music, and I am still looking for the episode whilst I'm talking. Yeah, because I think it's one of the early ones, because it's still in black and white as well. Another interesting fact is that there are some lost episodes of this one as well. So the first and the 4th episode, the first and the 3rd episode are actually they're animated, essentially. They're animated. And that it makes for some really good. I just love the animated style of Doctor Who, to be fair, and I wish I'd just do an entire series where it's animated. You know what I'll do actually? It's going to be right. I'm focused now. Where Doctor Who, The Invasion, because I feel like I need to know now. So, let's see here. The invasion is partly blah 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 blah. The invasion is the partly missing third serial of the 6th season of Doctor Who British science fiction television. So it's season 6. Let's go to season 6. Because I feel like I spent too much time on this on the recording now to just leave it. And here we go. Oh, wow. It was rated very highly. All in the 8s. 8 point, so in order of episodes, so starting from episode 1 to episode 8. 8.1, 8.2, 8.1, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.3, and the finale, 8.4. Wow, that's crazy. That was probably one of the highest rated stories and most consistent in ratings as well. Because the following story, The Crotons, was consistently a 6 rating. 6.6 being the first one. Blimey. So that had a drop in ratings. I mean, oh my god, Space Pirates 5.0. Oh my goodness. I wish Brian was here to shed some light onto that one. But yeah, so Brian's back next week, so we'll be discussing the invasion. I've got some questions about the main dude, if you would. What was his name? Tobias Vaughan, the evil guy, the mad genius, if you would, who was running the company that was destroying the world. Because he wanted to take over the world and Cybermen. How would we even rate? Are we doing it out of flutes? I think we're doing flutes, aren't we? Yeah, flutes. Anyway, is Patrick Troughton still alive? Actually, yeah, he died. Aww. He was only 67. I will never meet all the doctors now. Unless I go to his grave. That'd be creepy. Anyway, so moving on to our last section. I'm very sorry, it's a very short episode of the show this week. But Gallifrey and Gabble, remember, you too can email us at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com or direct messages us on Twitter on The Whoniverse Show. So, let's do this. Gabriella Faulkner writes in, why do you watch Doctor Who? For myself, it's one of the few things I still do with I do with my grandmother still. We listen to your show every week and watch Classic Who with you and love disagreeing with your opinions on the episodes regardless of how right you are. It's fun, actually, getting a modern perspective on old episodes. Oh, that's a very good question, Gabriella. I think everybody watches Doctor Who for a different reason, and I think so. As such, it's a very, very good question. For me personally, watching Doctor Who is a pastime, and it's sort of a social aspect that I do with my friends, Lewis and Brian, where we'll watch Doctor Who together and meet up every week to discuss it. Much like my forebearers may have gone to the pub, some people go out for dinners or afternoon tea. For me, like some of my social interactions are through Doctor Who, and I think that's great. So me watching the invasion, or even if it's a really horrible one, what was that episode that we saw just a moment ago? That was absolutely destroyed in the ratings. What was it called now? Space Pirates. Or, even if it was something horrible like Space Pirates, I enjoy watching those episodes because of the social aspect that comes with them, and it really, it's nice to have friends to talk about Doctor Who to, and it just so happens that we record our conversations, which is in no part thanks to our esteemed manager. Well, she's only my manager now. Everyone else left. I'm the only one holding the fort. I guess I'll leave next too. Anyway, where me, Lewis and Brian, all on the same team at the time, we're getting told off, saying, you talk about Doctor Who too much. Oh, you got to stop talking about Doctor Who. Talk about something else. Never had an issue that we were talking. Just the fact that we're talking about Doctor Who. For some reason, it really tickled people the wrong way. So, essentially, I messaged Lewis. Well, I was saying to Lewis, how would you feel about doing a Doctor Who podcast? And he goes, what? That's a great idea. And then Brian here, and he goes, Did someone say Doctor Who podcast? And then that's how the show started. Well, that's kind of how it started. That's how it started being current sense of the show. It was originally going to be a solo show that I was working on, which you can catch on my personal YouTube channel, SMX Show. So yeah, Gabrielle Faulkner. I watch it for social. I watch Doctor Who socially, much like you get your social smokers or your alcohol pub visitors. I see Doctor Who in the same vein. It's something to do socially, I guess. It'd be interesting to see what Lewis and Brian's opinion of the matter is next week, and I think we'll repeat this question next week as well, Gabriella, if you don't mind. So that's it for a show this week. We've got a good solid 20 minutes actually, so I'm quite impressed with that. Don't forget you can follow me at Watson's Musings on the old Twitter. You can follow what's his name, Brian at Beach007 or Lewis at Elbrook19. I think it is. And you can also follow the show at Whoniverse Show. Don't forget you can also email in all your questions at thewhoniverseshow@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out Zit Farm on DeviantArt, who made our lovely, lovely logo. Wherever she is, whatever she's doing, popping those zits. You keep at it, girl. We love you. Anyway, you've been listening to Whovian Whoniverse. Have a week!